Imagine you're a seasoned explorer, trekking through the jungle of relationships. You've got your map, your hard-earned wisdom, and your compass, your sense of self-worth. But suddenly, you hear a rustle in the bushes. It's not a wild animal, it's something far sneakier: words. Not just any words, but 5 specific phrases that a woman might say, each one a trap disguised as harmless chatter. These phrases aren't just conversation, they're warning signs that reveal a lack of respect, manipulation, or emotional chaos. For older adults, who value stability, mutual respect, and deep connection, spotting these red flags is like finding a hidden path to safety. Ignore them, and you risk wandering into a swamp of heartbreak. Listen closely, and you'll emerge stronger, wiser, and ready for the kind of love that lights up your golden years. Why does this matter? Because relationships don't just fall apart in a single, dramatic explosion. They erode slowly, word by word, action by action, until you're left wondering how you ended up so far from the man you used to be. As an older adult, you've seen enough of life to know that love should lift you up, not drag you down. You've earned the right to be with someone who respects your journey, celebrates your strengths, and shares your vision for a meaningful future. So, let's arm you with the knowledge to recognize these 5 deadly phrases, understand their hidden dangers, and walk away with your head held high. This isn't just advice, it's a battle cry for your dignity, your peace, and your power. Let's dive in. 1. You never do anything right. Picture this. You're sitting at the dinner table, sharing a story about your day. When she cuts you off with a sharp, "You never do anything right." Maybe it's about how you fixed the sink, planned a weekend outing, or even how you told the story. The words sting like a slap, and the room feels colder. You laugh it off, thinking she's just in a mood, but deep down, you feel a crack in your confidence. If this happens once, it might be a bad day. But if it's a pattern, it's not a mood, it's a weapon. Why it's dangerous? This phrase isn't just criticism, it's a deliberate attempt to undermine your worth. It's like a termite eating away at the foundation of your self-esteem, one biting comment at a time. For older adults, who often take pride in their life's accomplishments, whether it's raising a family, building a career, or mastering a craft, this kind of talk is especially cruel. It dismisses your experience, your effort, and your value. Over time, you might start believing her, questioning your abilities, and shrinking into a shadow of the man you are. Worse, it creates a dynamic where she holds the power, constantly judging you while you scramble to prove yourself. That's not love, it's control dressed up as a relationship. Meet John, a 68-year-old retiree who loved tinkering in his workshop. He started dating Sarah, who seemed charming at first, but soon, every project he showed her, whether a birdhouse or a repaired chair, got the same response: "You never do anything right. Why didn't you sand it better?" At first, John thought she was just picky, but the comments kept coming, spilling into how he drove, how he dressed, even how he spoke. He stopped inviting friends over, embarrassed she'd criticize him in public. His confidence crumbled, and his workshop, once his sanctuary, gathered dust. It wasn't until a friend pointed out the pattern that John realized Sarah wasn't helping him improve, she was tearing him down. What to do? Don't fall into the trap of arguing or defending yourself, that's what she wants. Instead, recognize this phrase for what it is: a sign of disrespect. The first time it happens, address it calmly but firmly. "I'm open to feedback, but I won't be spoken to like that. Let's talk respectfully." If it happens again, take note. 3 times? It's not a mistake, it's a test to see how much you'll tolerate. At that point, walk away. You don't need to yell or fight. Simply say, "I deserve a partner who values me, and this isn't working." Then leave with your dignity intact. You've spent decades building your life. Don't let anyone dismantle it with their words. You are not a punching bag for someone else's insecurities. Your life's work, your wisdom, your heart, their treasures. Stand tall like the oak you've become, rooted in strength. The right woman will admire your branches, not try to chop you down. Walk away from disrespect, and you'll find someone who sees you as the masterpiece you are. 2. If you loved me, you would. Imagine you're planning a quiet evening with your partner, maybe a movie night. When she says, "If you loved me, you'd take me to that fancy restaurant instead." It sounds like a simple request, but there's a hook. She's using love as a bargaining chip. Maybe it's not about dinner, maybe it's, "If you loved me, you'd stop golfing with your buddies," or, "If you loved me, you'd move to a new city." Whatever the demand, the message is clear. Prove your love by giving up something you value. For older adults, who cherish their independence and the life they built, this phrase is a blazing red flag. Why it's dangerous? This phrase is manipulation, plain and simple. Love isn't a transaction where you trade pieces of yourself for affection. When a woman says, "If you loved me, you would," she's setting up a test you can never pass. You might give in once, thinking it'll make her happy, but it's a slippery slope. Today it's skipping golf, tomorrow it's cutting off lifelong friends or abandoning a hobby that keeps you sane. Before you know it, you're a stranger to yourself, molded into her vision of what you should be. For older adults, this is especially toxic. You've spent decades becoming who you are, and sacrificing that for someone else's approval is a betrayal of your own journey. Plus, here's the kicker: the more you give in, the less she respects you. Why? Because a man who bends to every demand loses the strength that made him attractive in the first place. Take Robert, a 72-year-old widower who started dating Linda. Robert loved his weekly fishing trips with his grandson. It was their special time. But Linda began saying, "If you loved me, you'd spend that time with me instead." Robert, wanting to please her, cut back on fishing. Then it was, "If you loved loved me, you'd sell that old boat, it's a waste of money. Soon, Robert's life revolved around Linda's demands. He stopped seeing his grandson, sold his boat, and even changed how he dressed to suit her. But Linda didn't love him more, she grew distant, saying he'd lost his spark. Robert realized too late that he'd given up everything that made him him, only to lose the relationship anyway. What to do? Don't take the bait. When you hear this phrase, pause and recognize it as a power play. Respond with calm strength. Love isn't about ultimatums. Let's talk about what we both need without demands. This sets a boundary while keeping the door open for a real conversation. If she keeps using this tactic, it's time to walk away. Say, I want a relationship where we both respect each other's freedom, and this isn't it. Then leave. No arguments, no begging. You're not a puppet, and your love isn't a currency to be spent on appeasement. By walking away, you're choosing yourself, and that's a victory. You're not here to audition for someone's approval. You're a man who's lived, loved, and learned. Your life is a masterpiece, not a rough draft to be rewritten. Hold fast to what makes you you, and never trade your soul for a seat at someone else's table. The right woman will join you on your journey, not demand you abandon it. 3. I just want to have fun. You're at a cozy coffee shop, laughing over old stories, when she leans back and says, I just want to have fun. It sounds light, playful, even refreshing. Who doesn't want fun? But dig deeper, and this phrase often hides a troubling truth. When a woman emphasizes just fun, she's likely saying she's not interested in commitment, responsibility, or building something lasting. For older adults, who often seek deep, reliable partnerships, this is a siren call leading straight to a shipwreck. Why it's dangerous. A relationship built on just fun is like a house built on sand. It looks nice until the first storm hits. Life isn't all cocktails and sunsets. It's doctor visits, family challenges, and moments when you need someone to stand by you. If she's only in it for the good times, what happens when you're grieving a friend's loss, facing a health scare, or just having a tough day? She's gone, chasing the next thrill. This phrase signals a lack of vision for the future, and for older adults who value stability and shared purpose, that's a deal breaker. Worse, if you go along with it, you're reducing yourself to a source of entertainment, not a partner. You deserve more than being someone's temporary amusement. Consider Frank, a 65-year-old divorcee who met Carla at a dance class. Carla was vibrant, always laughing, and said she just wanted to have fun. Frank, smitten, went along with it. Fancy dinners, weekend trips, late-night parties. But when Frank's arthritis flared up and he needed to slow down, Carla lost interest. You're not fun anymore, she said, before moving on to a new crowd. Frank was devastated, realizing he'd invested in someone who didn't care about him, only the excitement he provided. He'd ignored the warning sign, and it cost him emotionally and financially. What to do? Don't mistake fun for compatibility. When you hear this phrase, clarify her intentions. I love having fun, but I'm also looking for a partner who's ready for life's ups and downs. What do you want? If she doubles down on just fun, don't try to change her, walk away. Say, I'm looking for something deeper, and I wish you well. Then go find someone who shares your values. You're not here to be a carnival ride. You're a man with a legacy to build, even in your later years. Life's too short for shallow waters. You're a deep river, carved by years of courage and experience. Don't waste your depths on someone who only schemes the surface. Seek a partner who dives in with you, ready for the adventure of a real, lasting love. For, why can't you be more like, you're sharing a quiet moment, maybe talking about your plans, when she says, why can't you be more like my ex? He was so ambitious. Or maybe it's, why can't you be more like Tom, who's always so outgoing? The words cut deep, comparing you to someone else and implying you're not enough. For older adults who take pride in their unique life path, flaws, triumphs, and all, this phrase is a dagger to the heart. Why it's dangerous. This phrase is a sign of disrespect and a refusal to accept you as you are. It's not about helping you grow. It's about molding you into someone else's image. Every time she compares you, she's saying you're falling short of her ideal, which is a losing game. You'll never be her ex, Tom, or anyone else, and you shouldn't have to be. For older adults, this is especially painful because you've spent decades becoming who you are, with a story no one else can claim. A partner who can't appreciate that is blind to your value, and staying with her will only erode your confidence. Meet George, a 70-year-old veteran who started dating Ellen. George was proud of his quiet, thoughtful nature, honed by years of service and reflection. But Ellen constantly said, why can't you be more like my old friend Bill? He was the life of the party. George tried to be more outgoing, forcing himself into social settings he hated. But it never felt right, and Ellen kept comparing him to others. Eventually, George realized she didn't love him, she loved an idea of who she wanted him to be. He ended the relationship and later met Marie, who adored his calm strength and never asked him to be anyone but himself. What to do? Don't let her words make you question your worth. Call out the comparison. I'm not here to be someone else, I'm me, and I deserve to be valued for that. Can we focus on what we both bring to this? If she keeps comparing, walk away. Say, I want a relationship where we accept each other as we are, and this isn't it. You're not a project to be fixed, you're a man with a life worth celebrating. You're not a runner-up in the race of life, you're the champion of your own story. Your scars, your victories, your quirks, they make you unforgettable. Don't let anyone dim your light by wishing you were someone else. Walk away, and find a woman who sees you as the one and only. 5. I don't need you here trying to plan a future together. Maybe be discussing a shared trip or a life decision when she says, "I don't need you," with a cold edge. It's not about her being independent. Independence is great. It's about her dismissing your role in her life, as if you're an optional extra. For older adults, who often seek mutual reliance and partnership, this phrase is a gut punch, signaling a relationship that's one-sided. Why it's dangerous: a relationship thrives on mutual care, where both partners value each other's presence. When she says, "I don't need you," especially with contempt, she's showing she doesn't see you as essential. This creates a dynamic where you're pouring your heart into someone who's emotionally checked out. For older adults, who often want a partner to share life's joys and challenges, this detachment is a recipe for loneliness. You'll end up giving everything, your time, your energy, your love, while getting nothing back. That's not a relationship, it's a slow bleed. Take Harold, a 67-year-old widower who fell for Diane. Harold loved planning outings and helping Diane with small tasks, but she'd brush him off, saying, "I don't need you, I've always managed alone." At first, Harold admired her independence, but the dismissals piled up. When he needed support after a health scare, Diane was nowhere to be found, saying, "I don't need to be tied down." Harold realized she didn't value him. She saw him as a convenience, not a partner. He walked away and later found Joan, who cherished his kindness and leaned on him as much as he leaned on her. What to do? Don't beg for her to need you. That's a trap. Instead, clarify the relationship's value. "I want a partnership where we both matter to each other." Is that what you want? If she doubles down on detachment, walk away. Say, "I'm looking for a relationship where we lift each other up, and this isn't it." You're not a spare tire. You're a vital part of any relationship you choose to be in. Your presence is a gift, forged by years of love, loss, and triumph. Don't waste it on someone who treats you like an afterthought. You're a cornerstone, not a crumb. Walk away and find a woman who builds her world with you, not around you. The power of walking away. Your hero's journey. Walking away isn't defeat, it's your greatest act of strength. As an older adult, you know life is a finite gift, and every moment counts. By refusing to tolerate these 5 phrases, you're not just protecting your heart, you're reclaiming your power. You're saying, "I am enough, and I won't settle for less than I deserve." That's not just courage, it's a legacy. You've built a life of wisdom, resilience, and love. Don't let anyone chip away at it. Think of yourself as a warrior, standing at a crossroads. One path leads to a relationship that diminishes you, where you're constantly proving yourself to someone who doesn't care. The other path leads to freedom, dignity, and the chance to find a woman who sees you as a treasure, not a tool. Choose the second path. Walk away from disrespect, manipulation, and detachment. Each step you take is a declaration. "I am a man of worth, and my heart is reserved for someone who knows it." Why this matters for older adults: as an older adult, you bring something rare to relationships: perspective. You've seen fads come and go, weathered storms, and learned what truly matters. You're not chasing fleeting thrills, you're seeking a partner to share the richness of life's later chapters. That's why these phrases are so dangerous. They threaten the peace and purpose you've worked so hard to cultivate. By recognizing them, you're not just avoiding pain, you're honoring the man you've become. You're choosing relationships that reflect your values, not ones that erode them. Here's the secret: when you walk away from the wrong woman, you don't lose, you win. You win back your time, your energy, and your self-respect. And here's the magic: by holding yourself to a higher standard, you attract women who match it. Women who admire your strength, respect your boundaries, and want to build something real. They're out there, waiting for a man like you, a man who knows his worth and isn't afraid to stand by it. So, the next time you hear one of these 5 phrases, don't ignore the warning. Don't rationalize it. Don't excuse it. Don't think you can love her enough to change her. Listen to your gut, summon your courage, and walk away. You're not just walking away from a bad relationship, you're walking toward a better life. A life where you're valued, respected, and loved for exactly who you are. You are not here to beg for scraps of affection. You are a titan, forged in the fires of a life well lived. Your heart is a fortress, your spirit a flame that no one can extinguish. Don't let toxic words dim your light or steal your joy. Walk away from anyone who doesn't see your greatness, and stride boldly toward the love you deserve, a love that honors your past, enriches your present, and lights up your future. The world is waiting for the man you are. Go claim it.